That is awesome, dude. Look how red he is. That's real animal style right there.
Look at that.
That is a day maker, baby. Oh, look at that.
Real Animals, presented by Contender Boats.
Today I'm back at the plantation on Crystal River, Florida. You know, it's one of my very favorite places. There's so many unique things to do here, offshore, inshore, you know, real shallow water, real deep water. It's really a neat place. And this is kind of an interesting, neat episode because today I'm getting way skinny, like too skinny for my 25 Contender Bay. We're actually in Captain Clay Scheidler's mud boat.
Take everything you know about an outboard, throw it away.
Way in the back, negative low winter tides. Gonna try and catch some of those fish that drop into these potholes that you either need the mud boat or an airboat to get to. Nothing else can get back there, a kayak, but that's it. It'll be really, really, really a neat day on the water. It's a good thing I'm with Clay because I have no idea where I am.
Try to keep it that way.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about me coming here in the commotion.
That is a snook.
Nice. Boy,
You paused it and he smoked it.
He's not happy. He is not happy. The mirror lure got him. He's like, oh, that's a mirror lure, that hurts. Swimming at me doing 80. They're in here. I think you just got to put it on their nose. What a cool fish. Again, not a monster, but the fact that we're in here, it's January, the weather's beautiful, and we're able to do this with plugs is really cool. You know, we're not sitting in here with a live well full of bait. I will tell you the one thing you got to really be careful with the plugs is you got him, and if he does some kicking, he can get you. Cool little fish, huh? You know, one of the neat things about this part of Florida's west coast is there's grass flats for miles. And what that does is it cleans that water out, even on these big tides. Even if you have a lot of rain, you know, the water gets dirty, of course, with heavy rains, but it doesn't stay dirty as long because there's so much vegetation, there's so much seagrass and life on the bottom, it works as a big filter. So when you get way back in the backcountry where we were today, the water is crystal clear. I mean, it looks like you're drinking water at the house, it looks like your bath water. It's absolutely beautiful, and what it gives you is these incredible sight fishing opportunities, you know, that you just don't normally get. The redfish in the back just get this bright red color to them, that bronze, the bronze bombers just swimming around back there, and you can pick them up from quite a ways with, you know, your good polarized glasses on, and that makes for just those incredible sight fishing opportunities. Set the hook. That's the one we're looking for right there. Look at that.
That's what we came for, Mike. Even though, I mean, we got him hooked, you can see him. But when they swim across this dark bottom, they're so hard to see.
That's the one you want right there. Woo! Skinny water red fishing.
It is, and all this that you see out here, kind of what's in front of us right now where we didn't fish is about 5 inches deep. We're just in a little 2-foot deep depression.
Look how bronze that fish is. God. Pretty redfish.
Look at the spot on his tail. That is a heart, as good as one as I've ever seen. That is
sick.
That is awesome.
You know, I've seen a lot of social media posts over the last couple of years, you know, with really kind of cool redfish spots. You know, I've seen some that, yeah, if you look kind of close, it looks like the spot on the tail is kind of shaped like a heart. Well, we caught one today. It was definitely, no mistaking, that spot on that tail looked just like a heart. nice fish.
That was fun.
Ooh. I want one of those.
Snuck right in on him there and got one.
I want one of those. These pockets are so cool the way it just, on this super low tide, it just kind of, you know, pushes them fish in the hole. We saw a bunch of those fish, then you were able to stick that good one. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like it. Let's catch a couple more. When you have conditions like we had today where the water temp's 72, 73 degrees and you can still see, you know, finger mullet running around back there, a few pinfish, you know, some glass minnows and things working on the flat still, you know, they have things to eat and they tend to be just a little bit more food shy because they just had a meal. So it changes everything. And the real key to being successful back there is paying attention to all those details. You know, we still, even though water temps were up a little bit, we still had to really slow down our presentation. We had to kind of bleed our line in there a little bit. You wanted to make a soft splash on the water with your cast, and then you had to kind of roll things across the bottom a little bit. If you got going too fast, too much rise and fall with your baits were moving too quickly, that didn't seem to work so good. If you took your time, were kind of patient with your approach and your retrieve, that's when we seem to get more bites. Oh, he's on there.
Did he run at you the whole time?
Sure did.
That's a nice trout.
It is a nice trout. He ran at me hard. He chased that mirror lure Marsh Minnow Jr. down, boy. I'm telling you, in the wintertime, you know how much I absolutely love the marsh minnow. I'm a big fan of paddle tails, but in the wintertime, when that feed gets on a little, when it gets a little smaller, and they're after a little smaller presentation, this mirror lure Marsh Minnow Jr. is going to be the key. Just a little bit smaller than the marsh minnow. Our winter low tides are really extreme. We get into negative low tides. And what happens in the backcountry where you have this dark bottom, you know, a lot of fish congregate there because the dark bottom heats up in the wintertime. There's some springs here in Crystal River, and they keep that water temp in the backcountry safe for them to avoid freezing temperatures and all that stuff. Well, on these negative low tides, all those fish get condensed into these holes in the back. And there isn't that many holes in the back. So what happens is you end up fishing to all of your fish instead of having them all spread out because you got 3 foot of water everywhere. There's 12 inches of water, 6 inches of water back there, so they gotta be in those holes, and it really, really makes for an interesting bite. You know, today we've been kind of on this warm trend, and it's not quite as cold as I'd like to see it, but there's still so many fish back here, just really, really an exciting day of fishing. What you got, dog?
I do not think this is a speckled trout.
I don't think so either.
It is not. It is actually a decent red.
It is. Attaboy.
We did not come here to catch him.
It's nice when you can be targeting speckled trout and still catch redfish.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have.
I'm not gonna complain.
No, that's nice.
Come here, buddy.
Attaboy. Nice redfish.
See, our fish in the wintertime, you see how fat he is. Our fish in the wintertime get heavy.
Crustacean bite.
That's it. That was a little John bite.
Yeah, but he thought it was a crustacean.
I think he did.
Yeah. And one of the great things about these mirror lure jigs, the Little Johns, the Little John XLs, the marsh minnows, plastic is really tough. You can fish them all morning. We've been using just about the same jigs all morning long, changing colors, and that's it. Really economically sound, if you will. And one of the keys to picking a quality guide, wherever it is you're going to visit, whether it be the Keys or South Carolina, Louisiana, North Florida, wherever it is, try to find somebody that's had some time on the water. There is no substitute in any kind of fishing, whether you're bass fishing or saltwater fishing, offshore, inshore, it doesn't matter. Time on the water is key. And because Clay has been ate up with it since he was just knee-high to a grasshopper, he's so knowledgeable. I just couldn't believe, you know, we'd come around a corner and I could see really nothing that looked fishy, and he knew that over here under this tree branch,
They're probably gonna be over there.
there's a little hole, and that hole holds fish. And sure enough, he was right. Every single time he stopped, we picked up a couple of fish. And it's just not something you can learn by mistake or learn in a year or two. This is a lifetime of fishing these waters, and it's a game changer. So you've been fishing all this stuff since you were a kid, huh?
My entire adult life, man, it's been really fun. There's people all over this country and, you know, kids growing up riding four-wheelers in the woods and this and that. And for us, it was running around in Ozello and in the maze that this place is. Learning.
You know, Captain Clay Scheidler is really a special kid. He's pretty young, but we met probably 4 years ago. I came up to Crystal River, stayed at the plantation, and then filmed a show with him, and we just kind of hit it off right away. You know, he's one of those high energy, super passionate guys. I just call him fishy. He's just a fishy cat. You know, when he wakes up in the morning and his feet hit the floor, he wants to know what's going on, whether it's a day on the water for him or not. You know, he wants to know what the winds are doing, what the tides are doing, you know, what's the temperature, what's the water temperature. I mean, all those things. He eats, breathes, and sleeps fishing. And for me, those are the types of guys I love to be around, whether they're older guys or younger guys, it doesn't matter. You know, in the fishing world, you never stop learning, and every single time I'm with Captain Clay Scheidler, I learn something new. The kid is so talented. He's been fishing these waters since he was just a little kid, and it really, really shows. He is absolutely amazing in this area.
Oh, there's one. I think it's a pretty nice snook.
Boy.
Came up out there right when he hit it. He is not happy.
Old mirror lure, jig head in the corner of the mouth will do that to you.
Come back over here, buddy. You know, just caught that redfish. In the very next cast, catch a...
Could you catch a trout on the next one just so we could 3-cast the slam? Open. Don't like my big old mitts, do you? I don't blame you. But I got you. There you go. Look at that. Nice fish. Good boy.
Perfect.
Clay, this is such a neat day on the water just to be able to come back here, negative low tides, getting these potholes in this boat. Just really neat. You know, we've been running around in 6 inches of water back here, getting in these little holes. It's unbelievable. What a neat experience.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Stop it. This one's healthy, boy.
See how dark his back is from being on this muddy bottom back here?
Nice. That is an absolutely perfect Real Animals morning right there. Perfect. Hey gang, this week's Real Animals tip of the week. I want to talk to you about my good friends at Engel Coolers. You know, for over 50 years now, Engel Coolers have set the standard for roto-molded high-performance coolers. They come in a multitude of sizes, a multitude of colors, Just some great options. They keep ice for up to 10 days. It's absolutely amazing. There really isn't anything on the market like them. They do a great job with their inset latches and all the things they do, thinking about the fishermen, you know, latches where they're all out on the outside and you get your cast nets and your lures and everything stuck on them. You don't have that problem with Engel coolers. They've got a great line of backpack coolers and bag coolers that you can get. They make the best tumblers on the market. Just incredible, incredible people, great product. Go to engelcoolers.com. I'm sure you'll find many, many things there you like. Check them out today. You know, I've been on airboats before, so I've kind of been in this scenario. I've never been in this scenario in Crystal River, in Ozella, in that area, especially when the tides are so low. You know, it's such a neat experience, the way you can see every little cut in the flats and the creeks back there, the dark mud bottom and the sandy hard bottom, and the oyster bars and the rock piles. I mean, it's absolutely just one of the most beautiful things. It's so peaceful to be just sitting in that mud boat and running around in those creeks, and you know, it just takes your breath away around every single turn. It's absolutely amazing. You know, one of the neat parts about this estuary is the variety of fish that live here. You know, great speckled trout fishing, some of the best in the state of Florida. Great red fishing. The last couple of years have been some of the best red fishing they've ever seen. Homosassa, Crystal River, Steenahatchee area, this part of the West Florida's coast. And you know, the snook fishing up here several years ago really wasn't anything but big fish. And there was lots of really big fish. It caught some 40 inches on marsh minnows up here several years ago, and you didn't see a lot of this snook. But now you can see, you know, this snook is also everywhere, and that means this is a healthy estuary, a lot of variety, a lot of sheephead in the backcountry. Flounder get in these holes in the wintertime, so it's really a catch-all fishery almost year-round. You know, it just depends on what you're doing. You know, when it gets really, really cold, the gag grouper fishing near shore is amazing. This backcountry stuff, all that stuff in between on all that beautiful grass they have here is spectacular. Triple tail cobia, it's just a magical, magical place. And the plantation makes it an easy destination. It's forever gonna be one of my favorite places. Love to bring the family here. It's just amazing. It never, ever ceases to amaze me. Captain Clay and I are playing with some pretty basic tackle. We're going pretty light because we're in the backcountry, we're fishing pretty shallow. Penn Conflict 2500, 10-pound braided line. This is the Ultracast Invisibraid. I absolutely love it. I don't think back here you need much lighter fluorocarbon leader than maybe 25.
Yeah, that's
maybe
fine.
20, either one. We're gonna throw some Mirror Myridines around a little bit. We're gonna throw some jigs. Remember, it's winter time, so I like the dark colors a little bit, kind of imitating that crustacean feed. Don't you think dark colors usually work best this time of year? For
sure. We've got a little bit of a warm day today. It's supposed to be 80 degrees in January, which is not something we see a lot of, but typical, yeah. You know, it gives us a shot at some snook. You know, our snook, if it's real cold, they're not gonna bite, but hopefully we can get a couple of them today, and we should have a pretty good variety. Trout, reds, and snook in some really skinny water.
Light tackle, 7-foot bull bait assault rods, real simple gear, real simple tackle.
Not a bad fish at all.
Attaboy. I like the way you let me catch some early and then kind of took over late. You gave me that false sense of security.
Glad I could help you with that.
You're a peach like that. The old Marshmallow Jr. That molten color is tough to beat in the backcountry. It looks just like a Peter mullet swimming around down there. It's a great bait for back here in the Scott Cap Mike now. It owns me. There you go. There you go. Ooh, a couple of spots on this one. One spot on one side, two on the other. Blue tail, pretty colors. You know what was kind of nice about the day was just getting a chance to be on the water with a good friend. Started the morning throwing some plugs, caught some fish on mirror lure plugs, you know, mirrodines and mullets, and it was fantastic. Then we switched to jigs as the sun got a little bit higher. So we caught them on Little Johns and Marshmallow Juniors. And then we had, you know, brought some shrimp along just in case it wasn't an artificial bite, again, because it's a little warmer than it is normally this time of year. And so last ditch effort, we thought, well, let's just go find a hole somewhere and throw some shrimp in and see what happens. And lo and behold, that worked too. So it was just one of those really, really special days out of the plantation on Crystal River. Good fishing, good friends, great day. It just doesn't get any better. It's absolutely a complete, perfect Real Animals day.